I share the screen, please?
Yes, Professor.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namah. Om Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Shri Ved Purushaya Namo Namah. Vakya Devyai Namo Namah. Saraswatyai Namo Namah. Angirasaya Namo Namah. Om Kapilaya Namo Namah. Om Gargaya Namo Namah. Om Vedavyasaya Namo Namah. Om Dharmaya Namo Namah. Om Matra Sakyai Namo Namah. Om Shri Radha Krishnabhyam Namo Namah. My humble pranam to all the distinguished audience and my humble namaskar and gratitude to Suraji Barma ji and Shruti ji for giving me this opportunity to share with you the ancient wisdom under contemporary context. So let's have this journey continue through this course, and let us learn together, let us sing together. So in this particular lecture, I'm going to expand beyond what has been talked about in past two lectures, and also in the course number 1, where we laid down the theoretical foundation. Here we will look back more closely to the pragmatic issues as we go along. And it is important here, having seen it is not as good as knowing it, and knowing it is not as good as putting into practice. Seeing, knowing, and practicing. Here comes the very important message that whatever we know, whatever we can see, if that is not being practiced, the whole exercise, whole seeing and knowing loses its meaning and purpose. So that's why it's very important, the Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all these yoga traditions go hand in hand. From previous lectures, how to organize and structure one's own life journey on this planet, while keeping in mind that each individual has a different innate propensity, aptitude, taste, and personality. This is the great question I'm raising. How one can organize in a structure, order his or her own life, giving the variation, diversity, plurality of the internal personality. Why we want to have this question? Why we want to organize and structure one's own life? There are several, what you call, the benefits. Just like when you go to college, when you go for learning a topic, doing an activity, first thing comes in mind, what I'm going to achieve, what I'm going to get out of it. The phala, it means fruits of that action, fruits of that thinking, fruits of that knowledge, and they go together. Very important. Why? To achieve a healthy, happy, and long life. I think everyone would agree that we all looking for healthy, happy, long life. To be able to respond creatively and positively to changing social, national, international, physical conditions. How we can contribute positively. How we can add creatively new dimensions, new ideas to deal with the situations as they keep changing. To able to protect and enrich Yogadharma Kshetra against the adharmic enemies from the inner world as well as outer world. All the enemies in this world can be classified within these two broader categories, within the inner world and outer world. Inner world, for example, as you can see, our very calm, krodh, lobh, moh, irsa, dvesh, hinsa. Many of the internal fields we will be talking about later on in the following courses, following lectures, that these are the internal enemies, and under these enemies, we respond to the changing situations. They have to be dealt with. And also the enemy's outer world. Now in contemporary world situation and contemporary Hindu wisdom traditions and contemporary Hindu political situation in India, you can recognize easily the adharmic forces working against the dharmic kshetra. There are nexus of several forces, and you should have already figured it out. And I'm not going to dwell on today, but make sure what my point is here, recognize these enemies, internal and external. You have to really fight them against the dharmic tradition. To achieve a morally, ethically uplifting and peaceful and joyful celebration of life. Very important. We have to do celebration of life under the field of Sanatan Dharma. Because we are born to have celebration of life. In order to have a celebration life, joyful celebration life, we must be looking at the boundaries, the limits of dharmic kshetra, the maryadas, the morality, the field of ethics, without which we will not be able to celebrate life joyfully, to experience the beauty, wonder, mystery of existence. Very, very important. Many of us, majority of us, really do not get a chance in this lifetime to experience the beauty, wonder, mystery of existence, because we do not get delved into the what you call the Lokasamgraha Yogadharma Kshetra, where the external beauty, internal beauty merge together to experience the total beauty. And as soon as you start doing that, there will be wonder. There will be mystery. And that will really be opening gate to joyful celebration of life. That's the ground on which you stand to celebrate life. And that's where the celebration of life bring out what we call the entire tradition of the Sangeet Shastra, Nat Shastra, Kavya Shastra, all kinds of festivals, all kinds of Kumbh Melas, all kinds of pujas. They bring this out from the grounds of the joyful celebration. Very, very important. and gradually move toward achieving the ultimate goal, the moksha and beyond. Because this life is a cyclic process. We go through, this body goes through birth, death, and rebirth. Should we keep on doing this, or should we, after we have experience of the mystery, should we start looking at what is the ultimate goal of this existence? So there you bring in what you call the moksha and beyond. We will talk about if there is something beyond moksha. And Jivan Mukti, while you are living within this body, living in this world, how can you be totally mukta? Means totally detached from all the worldly process. So we will. So these are the. This is the great question, and this is why we want to raise this question, and the answers will follow. Answer to that great question give birth. So birth, I've used the word birth. Janma, Udbhav, to these kshetras. Varnashram Yogadharma Chet, Purusharth Yogadharma Chet, Sanskar and Sanskriti Yogadharma Chet, all other Yogadharma Chet, including social Yogadharma Chet, national Yogadharma Chet, international Yogadharma Chet, and Bhurvaswa Yogadharma Chet. Answer to that question for the benefits, for the fruits of living in this world, gave the answers through these kind of kshetras, through these kind of fields. Remember, the highly structured classification, categorization, and providing a structure is the basic foundation of the worldly process. You can experience, if you have not experienced it, you can experience it in your own life, in your professional life, personal life. Every organization where you work or have worked, whether you have business, whether you have any manufacturing company, any organization that you look around, political organization, educational organization, they cannot function, they cannot even hold on to their identity without proper classification and categorization of different fields within their own big field. This is very, very important. This is a very much scientific. This is a jnana vigyan. This is a jnana vigyan, which manifests even in contemporary world. No other tradition, ancient tradition, civilization, whether you talk of Abrahamic tradition, within that, you're talking about the Islamic tradition, or Jewish tradition, or Christian tradition, or many other traditions. No questions are supposed to be asked. You cannot ask any questions. Only do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. The foundational aspects are missing. This is the uniqueness of the Vedic worldview, where question answers are the source of celebration of life and go beyond. And just giving you background, I have categorized these dharma kshetra in a concentric circular profile. This is called the Venn diagram. And these are the aspect of or dimensions of Sanatan Dharma Yoga Kshetra. Very important. These are the dimensions. And these dimensions and these categorization help us to understand the totality and individuality. And that's the reason for this. Primary characteristics of each of the region that I talked about last time, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, has its own dharma chetra. There is normally an overlapping region between two adjacent domains. They may have elements that may pervade all the domains. There appears to be internal contradiction, conflicts, paradoxes with each of the domains, as well as in between domains. So I'm talking about this configuration has these characteristics. The real challenge arises how to resolve them and or transcend them, or reaching their limits leading to breakdown. So within these categories and questions and characteristics, we will be moving towards through this journey, moving towards the complete understanding. Remind you, in theoretical field, I have talked about in the course number 1. The Pragmatic Guna field for all varnas and for all human beings or all living beings. They are the foundational fields called the Guna field. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and Mistrit Guna. No entity, no human being can have only one of those gunas. They are always together, Sattva, Raj, Tamas, and Mistrit Guna. That's why I have used the Mistrit Guna, reactive mixture of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas Guna. They are all together. The only difference between one personality to another personality is that one personality may be sattvic dominated, other personality may be rajas dominated, and another personality may be tamas dominated. And I had given you these different characteristics and qualities from each of the gunas in the last lecture. In the theoretical foundation, the first course. These fields are the foundation source of all diversity and plurality observed in human nature, divine and demonic. And also universality has been the foundational doctrine of the Vedic wisdom tradition. They do not, all these principles, doctrines, categories, basic primary fields, foundational aspect do not apply to so-called only Hindus. This is fundamentally incorrect notion, flawed notion. They are applied for all humanity, no matter what tradition you come from. These are the universal field encompassing the whole humanity, as well as physical world. This is so uniquely unparalleled in non-Vedic civilization. This thought process, these foundational ideas are missing from other traditions. So very important to recognize the Sanatana Dharmic tradition, their hidden and visible universe of universality applied to all human beings. In fact, these fields are applicable to actually foundation of existence, the Prakriti itself. Then let's look at the inner personality. Sankhya Darshan from Srimad Bhagavatam. Chitta Kshetra, Ahankar Kshetra, Manas Kshetra, Buddhi Kshetra. Consciousness, Ahankar, called the ego field, which is not a correct translation. Mind, manas. Manas is a better, word than the mind. Buddhi Kshetra, cognitive faculty. I have added another field which is called Hridaya Kshetra, seat of Atman and visionary faculty Dhi. These fields are foundation, source of human personality, divine domain, so unique, not found in non-Vedic civilization of the world. Classical, here I'm making a point here. Classical Sankhya Yoga Darshan does not include the Hridaya Kshetra, which is one of the most important kshetras, Hridaya, in the Vedic wisdom tradition. The classical Sankhya Darshan does not include. Srimad Bhagavat does include this as the one of the most pristine primary kshetra, where all the wisdom in a yogic configuration appears as the Dhi, within the faculty of Dhi, which is also seat of Atman, is not the brain, not any other organs, but the Hridaya itself. In my yogic experience, the classical model falls short of totality of human existence. So that's why I think this is a better model, it's a better classification, better understanding of total human personality. As we go along, we will be talking about the Sankhya Darshan and epistemology, ways of knowing what you want to know. So let's look at the first Varnashram Yogadharma Kshetra. We will go through this matrix here. First of all, I have talked about this in another series of lectures, I think, which were also coordinated by Sri Rajiv Verma ji, and they are available also on the website. Just to remind you, the caste, jati, and the varna. You can read through this later on, but the varna is not the caste. We have currently what we call the 4,000 castes in India. Varna is only 4. Many of these castes can be grouped together under a concept called varna. And each varna has certain characteristics and properties, which gives us an understanding, oh my goodness, just like in the physical world, you have a genus, you have, okay, these are the kind of, this is the fishes under this category, the stones under this category, and you will find out even the categorization classification is very prominent in what we call the chemical elements table, the chemical elements table. Jati is any group of things that have a generic characteristic in common. So you have 10 individuals, if they have a common characteristics, they can be grouped under one jati. Just for the convenience of understanding, classifying, and categorization, which are done for understanding fully, easy to manage. Varna contextually means color, tribe, species, kind, sort, nature, character, quality, property of an object or people in some Vedic and medieval texts. Varna refers to only 4 classes in Manimishra. Term race never used in the Vedic tradition. This is a Western construct, And this has been what you call the very damaging and dehumanizing classification or construct in the non-Vedic world. And you are familiar with that one. What is the origin? What is the origin of this? One of the clearest statement regarding the common origin of Varnashram is from Bhagavad Puran, also Rig Veda. From the mouth, arms, thighs, and feet, Virat Purusha were feet of Virat Purusha. They are born of Brahman, Kshatri, Vaisud, respectively, each with his own conduct. From my loins was born the Grahast Ashram, from my heart the state of Brahmachari, and from my chest the Vanuprasth, from Sannyas abides in my head. The natural propensities of people are in according with the place from which the respective Varnas and Ashram originated. So origins are the Virat Purusha, which is a unified whole, source of the existence. Brahmacharya Ashram, Grahast Ashram, Vanprasth Ashram, and Sannyas Ashram. Please note all the limbs being integral to Virat Purusha, and they are all divine, but endowed with different characteristics and their functions. They're all divine. They have different functions, different characteristics. To make this life's journey beautiful, wonderful. Ashram, Yogadharma, Brahmacharya Ashram, Grahast Ashram, Vanprasth Ashram, Sannyas Ashram. I have added Yogadharma with each of these ashramas. And normally that's why I have added, what you call the Lokasamgraha was the only word used. I have expanded it to Lokasamgraha Yogadharma Kshetra. The Lokasamgraha, the semantic field of this Lokasamgraha Sabd did include what I'm expanding it out. That's important. For contemporary understanding, I'm expanding this out. It will make more sense. It will be able to answer many questions. In the contemporary world, you will find out there are a lot of voices like, oh, yoga is different from dharma. Dharma is different from yoga. This is really what I call the state of deep, dark ignorance and stupidity. That's why these terms have to be expanded, and its hidden meaning must be unfolded. And out of these, Grahast Ashram is the most important foundation of Vanprasth and Sannyas Ashram. Most of the activities, most of the Karma Yoga, Karma Kand, Jnana Kand are done in the Grahast Ashram. We'll talk about as we go along. Center of major sanskar kshetra, karma kshetra, success, failure, happiness, sorrows, ups and downs, melodies, earth, calm, wealth, professional life, just to name a few. They are part and parcel of Grahast Ashram kshetra. Let's look at two of the Varna briefly, because I have discussed in other series all the Varna. Just to remind you, those who have not looked at that series or those who want to might have forgotten it. Initially, there was only Hans Varna. Pure, there were no Varnas. Pure divine nature. Then there were three varnas came out of Hans Varna: Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya. These three varnas could not uphold by themselves and the Srishti. So then there were another varna came out of it. Another varna took birth out of this field: Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya. And then you have other melodies, or what we call the drawbacks, that was entered into Vedic Varna system when this Vedic Varna system encountered non-Vedic invaders and ignorance from within, and the ignorance and the coming agyan, andhakar, coming from non-Vedic encounters. Look at this. This is just a beautiful here. In the beginning, this was Brahma only, that being alone was wishing to be many and to create. Only Brahman was the beginning. It wanted to create. It wanted to be many. Eko ham bahushyama. It created still further the most excellent Chatra power. And among Chatra power are Devatas: Indra, Varna, Soma, Rudra, Parjanya, Yam, Mrityu, Asna. They are the Kshatriya Devata. Therefore, there is nothing beyond Chatra, and therefore in Rajasu Yagna, Brahman sits down below the Kshatriya. He confers that glory on the Chatra alone. So relative ranking and relative position in the social world vary depending upon the characteristic of particular action. Particular karma yoga has to be done, particular jnana yoga has to be done. The ranking will keep changing. He was not satisfied. He created the Vaishya people, the classes of devas, which in their different orders are called Vasus, Rudras, Adityas, Vishwadevas, Maruts. He was not satisfied completely. And he created the Sudra Varna as Pusan Devata. This earth is verily a Pusan nourisher, for the earth nurses all whatsoever. So actually, the Prithvi Lok, Prithvi itself is of Sudra Varna. Can you believe that? We are not told about these things. Significant: 4 major organs spaces within the divine body of Virat Swarup. Sudra and Mother Earth from his feet, foundational unity. Remaining 3, Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, will lose their significance. When you're talking about the ground through which, or ground on which the Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya Varna can exist, is the Mother Earth of Sudra Varna. All the entities are his organs, all are divine. All the Varnas are divine. Value of each of them integrally dependent on the whole. You cannot separate them out. All are the parts and parcel of Purushottam. And this is to return unity with the differentiated diversity. Sudra Artha is the most exalted and foundation of collective existence. From the proposed new analysis, there's a great debate going on polarization phenomena, whether it should be germ-centered, birth-centered, or should be karma-centered. This is a incomplete. This is this is not going anywhere. You cannot resolve this. So I am proposing a new sense of classification under which you have to look at it. birth guna karma centered, guna karma centered, and karma centered. There are three prominent variables, and each one is a kshetra, field. In this Kali Yuga age, varna of a person within the social theme can be identified, although very readily, through karma kshetra only. You cannot recognize one person varna simply by talking about the janma, simply by talking about the guna, because they do not appear in front of you. So therefore, janma kshetra and guna kshetra remains in the realm of personal inner nature and family-oriented discourses. Public discourses and professional discourses, only karma kshetra is the only entity which classifies different varna. And this karma kshetra, this identification may change over time. Midlife crisis, midlife crisis is very much familiar with the modern world. Professional life, you have midlife crisis. Oh my goodness, I had to change this, my profession. I had to change this. I had to transform myself to new setting. Even Sutra of Goddess, oh Goddess, look at the Mahabharata, Anusasan Parv. Most of the preachers and teachers, and they will really ignore all this, what I am talking about to you, authentically. Even a Sudra, O Goddess, between the dialogue between Maheshwar and Uma Devi, that has purified his antakarana by pure deeds, that has subjugated all his senses, deserve to be waited upon and served with reverence as a Brahman. Sudra can be treated as a Brahman. When a pious nature and pious deeds are noticeable in even a Sudra, he should be, according to my opinion here, superior to a person of three other varnas, superior than the Brahmana. Neither worth, nor purificator rights, nor learning, nor of sin can be regarded as grounds for conferring upon the Brahman Varna. Verily, conduct is the only ground. Achar, vichar, vyavhar, karma kshetra, only actual conduct, sadachar, is the only ground. A Sudra, if he is established on good conduct, sadachar, is regarded as possessed of a status of Brahman. And Sudra Varna also allowed to conduct and participate in Yagna, Yajurveda 26.2. So you have a Mishtat Guna Kshetra. So you have basically three scenarios. I have done this in other series of talks. I'm not going to elaborate on it. All the varnas are divine, constitute the social body as well as individual body. Switching the varna due to economic, social, political ground condition has been also observed, especially after Mahabharata times. Much later time, invading tribes, group like Antyaj, Chandal, Swapakas were designated as untouchable as they were associated with the very filthy, polluting, unhygienic, and practicing unclean lifestyle that include meat eating, beef eating, wine drinking. All such people were then do not belong each of these varnas socially because of these filthy characteristics, damaging undharmic characteristics. And look at the very bold statement, Thomas Beardry. Social paradigm, this is the reference I'm giving you. Spiritual India's Varna ashram system are both natural and superior to those issuing from modern capitalist and communist system. You have caste system in each of the other Abrahamic traditions. You have caste system in modern world in every field of knowledge, every field of occupation. You don't call it caste, you call it by other name. Each person may function according with all the varna depending upon circumstances, times, and needs. Most of us as a professional are engaged primarily in the action related to Vaishya or Sudra varnas. Most of us working as a professional are engaged in the activities in relation to Vaishya varna or Sudra varna. Very, very important to realize. Each person, each individual goes through, if you look at carefully, observe carefully yourself, by yourself, for yourself, each person goes through morning to evening or through all these varnas. He may perform all these activities related to each of the varnas. What are the pragmatic lessons we must learn as a member of Sanatana Dharma family? All human beings must be looked at and treated with dignity and respect. As the core of each one is the universally Atman, and body is born of Prakriti Kshetra. Although each one has a different personality ranging from divine to demonic, but each one of us, no matter what kind of job they perform, what kind of nature they have, they must be treated with dignity and respect. People at the undesirable lowest social level need a sense of compassion and care. Because each entity is a part and parcel of Virat Purusha. Each and every one is divine, though they may have what you call the outer personality may be demonic. It's a very, very important paradox here. Let's look at the ashram now, which we have not talked about. The genesis of ashram, it starts with shram, where this word comes from. To labor, to toil, to exert oneself is strenuous activity. Yagna, tapas, archana, all of these are the shrams. Creative activity of Prajapati, including sexual activities. Even sexual activities are human beings, they are the shram. Both gods and seers search for Vak through shram and tapas. The mystery of Vak Devi. They search through shram and tapas. So tapas is also shram is also tapas. Search of immortality by means of shram and tapas. Discovered meters and bricks through shram and tapas. Dynamic activities toward achieving organized and harmonious end. We need shrama. We need shrama. We need tapas. We need yagna. We need devotion, dedication, without which we cannot know our own selves, what we are looking for. We cannot achieve anything in this world without shrama. People work nowadays 10 to 12 hours per day to earn livelihood. Otherwise, they will go hungry. That is shrama. Based on this shrama came shramana in the Vedic tradition, which is called the Brahman. Shramana and Muni, there are two very important classes of rishis. Long-haired one, Keshan. I'm not going to detail, you can read it. So what then ashram is? A place for dharmic activities with exertion, with the hard work, the tapas. A place for residence for engaging to life of learning and enlightenment. A habitat promoting a lifestyle dedicated to the principal obligations of the Grihasthashram. Residents of ashramas in Ramayana, inhabitants of this world include gods, seers, ancestors, and other human and non-human beings, live in a web of interdependent relation which create reciprocal rights and obligations. Inhabitants of this world include all these entities, living and non-living, with interdependent relations. Not only connectivity, but yogic connectivity. So there are 4 dharmas: Brahmacharya Yogadharma ashram, Grahasth Yogadharma ashram, Vanprasth Yogadharma ashram, Sannyas Yogadharma ashram. This has nothing to do with religion or spirituality, because these terms are too confining and too shallow. And in fact, they lose their meaning within the Sanatana Dharmic tradition. So we should not be using these terms at all in your daily conversation, tea table conversation. Period of austerity and learning, that's the brahmacharya. Second period, active social and adhyatmic life, vivaha sanskar, procreation. Third period of gradually withdrawing from the grahastha karmas, preparing to exit to sannyas. Those who have taken retirement, they know how they are bonded and how they are what you call is called the concept of boriyat. They don't know what to do. They're so devoid of any meaning unless we engage in the Vanprasth Yogadharma ashram. Activities. Sannyas Yogadharma ashram, last period of life devoted toward adhyatma, leading to moksha dharma. Very, very important. These are the stages of life. You have to go through this structured life and structured stages like this in order to experience the fullness and richness of living. If we cannot do it, Mera jeevan kora kagaj kora hi reh gaya. Before you go to that bed, examine yourself by yourself for yourself. You will find my life has been nothing. I'm empty. There are many distinguished thinkers, writers, businessmen, जिनके पास बहुत पैसे हैं, power है. At the end, they did experience these fundamental truths of living. So we have to structure. That's what the Vedic wisdom is about. Please note, I have expanded these terms to adding Yogadharma. Now look at how powerful statement it is. How much powerful. One of the very distinguished philosophers of Indian tradition, philosophy of Upanishad, he says, the entire history of mankind does not produce much that approaches in the grandeur to this thought, ashram sadhana. None of the civilizations. This is uniqueness. It's universality. And nowadays, actually, in the contemporary time, this Vanprasth ashram become even more meaningful and useful, because otherwise, if you want to still live and get attached to your families, sons, daughter, grandson, grandsons, and daughters, you will be either you will be thrown out from their homes because they don't want to live with you. You are not useful to them. Or you will be so disgusted with the day-to-day trials and tribulations of the family life. You say, I'm better, I don't have any santi. I don't have any peacefulness, so better I get out. Third thing is, well, if you don't find any place for yourself with the peacefulness, then you are going to commit suicide. So after retirement, get ready what you want to do. And for that, you have to prepare yourself during Grahastha Ashram. Grahastha Ashram is the most important one, foundation of Banprasth and Sannyas. If you cannot prepare yourself, learn things how to go beyond Grahastha Ashram, what the future is for you. If you have not learned, if you have not started practicing, then your retirement life is going to be very, very torturous. It's very important. Grahastha prepares you for all this future life. And this is the pragmatic aspect I'm talking about. Now here another question now comes up. After prescribing the Varnashram Yogadharma Chit, most significant question arises at what human beings are required to engage. Or Karma Yoga, what kind of engagement or what kind of Karma Yoga they have to perform towards fulfilling the meaning and purpose of celebrating life's journey leading to eternal Anandamaya, Prema Rasomaya existence. Okay, these are the classification, categorization, their characteristics of each of the categories, properties of each of the properties, guna of each of the property. But how can be, what will be achieving? What will be the outcome all this for my own personal life? The answer leads to the kshetra known as Purusharth Yoga. So during Grahasthasam, you must be engaged in all these Purusartha, Adidevik Yogadharma Chit, puja, prayers, etc. Arth Yogadharma Chit, wealth and possessions. Kam Yogadharma Chit, fulfillment of desires, including sexual desire. And Moksha Yogadharma Chit, exit from miseries of birth, death, rebirth cycle to obtain moksha. And there is another one which traditionally is not discussed and talked about by preachers and teachers or acharyas or this or that. Param Pursarth, Dibya Prem Rak Yoga Dharma Kshetra, which is the beyond moksha dharma. It's called the Gopi Krishna Dev Prem Ras. It means within this living, within the existence of human life on this planet, how we can achieve Prema Ras, Param Pursarth, the divine Ras, Dibya Ras, beyond moksha. We don't need moksha. We need Jivan Mukti Rasa. So that's another very important, I call it Param Pursarth. You may not be aware of it. This is unfortunate. Srimad Bhagavat Puran is the jewel in the crown of all the Vedic wisdom. Kind of moksha yoga dharma. There are 5 kinds of moksha. Salok, Sasti, Sampiya, Swarupa, Ekat. Salok means residence in the Vaikuntha of Bhagavan. Sasti, the passion of divine power. Sampiya, living Bhagavan's presence. Sarupya, possession of the divine form. Ekat, united with his being. That's 5 categories of the moksha. So when you simply talk about the moksha, this is not the complete understanding of the moksha, which is called the exit from miseries of life and death, That's incomplete understanding. Then there is the other one called Gopi Krishna Dibya Prem Ras. This is beyond and ever the Moksha Dharma. Even the state of being moksha states are not desirable for those in the highest state of Bhakti Yoga. As Krishna himself says in Bhagavad, Bhagavan says, neither Sankhya, nor Yoga, nor Dharma, nor study of Veda, nor austerities, nor renunciation leads to a person to me as does the intensive devotion. Bhakti Yoga. So the highest state beyond and above, transcending state of moksha is the non-separability and non-duality of Bhakta Bhakti Bhagavan. Bhakta Bhakti Bhagavan. Adi Shankaracharya himself towards his realization, after talking about the Gyan Kant, that's the Sreshtam Kant, Gyan. He says, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam. My dear listeners, I gave you briefly the overview and practical ideas, how to see the world around. How do you see the relations? How do you look at the humanity? How do you look at the nature, Prakriti? How do you look at yourself by yourself for yourself? This lecture series will help you to discover, or I will call rediscover. So my humble request with my folded hands to each one of you, please go back and look at all these videos posted on the course websites. Listen to them, look at them. That's why I am providing detailed notes here, because it's a class. This is not a superficial lecture where you listen from one ear, it goes out from another ear. And then make a practice, which I've been talking about throughout my career, that in order to really comprehend and transform yourself to the wonder and beauty, at least once a week, normally you should do once a day, at least once a week, sit down in a quiet solitude, examine your life by yourself, for yourself, by yourself. What I have been doing for last 1 week, what I could have done better, what kind of mental aberrations came into me, what kind of lust, what kind of greed, what kind of love, motive, all these, what you call the internal enemies, what did they do to me or to others around me? Examine those, analyze those, and then promise to yourself, by yourself, that this set of karma, this set of language, I will not be repeating in the next week. I will purify myself. Whenever I am talking about the karma yoga in general, you should think about 3 things. Manasa, vacha, karmana. You are doing karma through manasa, mind. You are doing karma through vani, your speech, the kind of speech you perform, and you are doing the actual karma, what you do. What kind of language you are using, what kind of tone you are using to address your nearby, your family members and others in general. This is what I would request every one of you to start working on it, to follow the Sanatan Yogadharma, the instructions, the pragmatic nitiya. That's why the niti means pragmatic steps that you can take, everyone can take. So with this, let us pray together. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejastu Navadhitamastu, Ma Vidyusavahai. Om Santi, 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 Hari Om. I bow down to all of you. I want your forgiveness for any offense that I may have committed during this talk. And also, I want your blessing. That is the dakshina for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now it is time for questions, answer, and
Any
Am I
questions?
audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Excellent session, I must say. And I have seen his videos in YouTube earlier. He's just an excellent speaker and a true tag bearer of Sanatana Dharma, I must say. Take my pranam, sir.
thanks a lot, sir. It is a gratitude for me and the whole team here that you are examining the videos and you have a desire, what you call the appropriate desire to learn and practice and teach others. That's
Yes, sir.
important.
Yes, sir.
That's very
Absolutely,
important. So
absolutely.
I really bow down to your compliments and bow down to your efforts.
Any
So I
question?
have a question. Yes, I have a question that today we were actually discussing about the Varna, Jati and caste system of India and so many other things. But right now, the reservation system in India. Can you say something? Can you put some light on this particular issue? The reservation system, reservation by birth. As we know, the Guna Karmani, which is depicted all over. You have mentioned so many aspects, so many references that guna and karma, not by birth, by the karma. And even in Gita, it is clearly said guna karmani by the Lord Krishna. But today in India, the caste system, it is reservation by birth. So if one's father or mother or anyone of his or her family already established by the reservation system, he or she also getting the same privilege of reservation by birth. So can you say something about this system, sir?
Sir, it is a great question. Actually, I will give you a brief answer. Later on, when I'm going to talk about the Raj Dharma, Rajniti, then I will elaborate on it. Unfortunately, the political idea of appeasement of one group over the other group through all kinds of reservations is fundamentally wrong. What they should be doing really, they should eliminate all these birth-based reservations. They should devise rather an economic base through which they can help out whosoever are needy and whosoever at the lowest ladder of the social hierarchy. This, under last 75 years, this reservation, this quota business is a fundamentally damaging idea. and the political doctrine that is really going to create further divisions in the society. There is a potential. Everyone will be dissatisfied. Those who are, in the reservation and those who are not in reservation. In fact, if you take a survey, proper survey, scientific survey among those who have come through reservation, you will find many of them will say, no, I don't think this reservation should be forever based on the birth right. So I think this is the tragic paradox in Indian political system. On one hand, we rebuke Brahman, Kshatri, Savarna. We rebuke them, we abuse them, we demoralize them, we demean them. At the same time, we are using the birth itself as the source of reservations in jobs, in education. And I tell you, based on the practical consideration, if those who are going to educational system, which unfortunately, sadly, could not prepare themselves to go to higher education, what kind of responsibility and work ethics they are going to have? How much skill they are going to be if they have not prepared properly to go through the learning process? These are some of the questions, and I think collectively the Indian society must face it. And if they had to find some basis, either economic basis or any other basis, where authentically, honestly, the life of the lower class of people can be improved. The individuals, those who have a lot of money, for example, they should be mobilized to come forward to help in the educational process of people who cannot afford. So the participation of the people with the proper guidelines from the government must be in my opinion, must be the solution. I don't have exact steps that you do this. This is since I'm not well versed how the political system is oriented there and worked out, but I think it can work out. That's my initial thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And sir, I just want to add one point, that reservation, you have said that to the economic basis, and we have to scrutinize in a well-maintained manner, and we can first of all study their backgrounds, and then we can fix reservation for them. But I want to just add one point, that we may keep or give reservation for their academic purposes, not for their purposes of services. We are giving reservation for the services, that anyone can join in a particular service for the country, for the nation, by reservation. But we can give them opportunity to study, to prepare them, to prepare their activities, their qualities, to be fitted for this particular service. But we are giving reservation for the service itself.
You have a really good point. that we can discuss further. But this is the one thing when you talk about the economic regions, economic basis. Really, this is misunderstood phenomena. Economic basis does not mean that you give them money and do whatever they want to do with it. No, economic basis means invest in providing the opportunity for lower class people, those who are not, those do not have enough resources, so that their kids and themselves can be taught, especially to prepare for them for higher education or for work, for doing particular work, vocal education or the practical education. So they must be supported to have the opportunity, create the opportunity. That's what I mean by economic consideration. Economic, simply giving them money, is a fundamentally incorrect, fundamentally damaging to them. It is the economic support through which they can learn these skills. They can come out of the ghettos. They can have a proper contribution to the society. So for example, lot of IITs, they have a reservation. Now, what is important? They have reservation IITs, and if you conduct an authentic survey for last 70 years of those who have supposed to be benefited from this reservation, how much they have benefited and how much their future generations have been. If you remove the reservation, then what's the assessment of reservation? Have we done assessment of the reservation? What impact does it have on the individuals, societies, families? We have not done any assessment. In this world, all actions, all policies must have an independent assessment. We don't do that. This is that's why it's called politics. I don't call it politics is the English term, which is allowed. I call it Raj Aniti, not Rajniti. It's a Raj Aniti. That Aniti word is missing from our vocabulary in all discourses. It's a Raj Aniti, not Rajniti. Thank you so much.
Rajiv,
Excellent, sir.
go ahead.
Excellent.
Namaskar, Chaturvedi ji.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Just going back of your presentation, I have jotted down few points where I want your views a little bit more elaboration.
Okay.
Like where you have mentioned Sattva, Rajas and Tama. There's three type of gunas.
Yeah.
Now, one more guna you have insisted, like a Mishrit guna.
Yeah.
Why you have elaborated one more when three is already existing, and how it is going to be a more advantageous in understanding the logic part?
Yeah, good question. I have added that Mishrit guna from the perspective of this kind of idea. When we talk about three gunas, the general understanding is that, okay, I am Sattva guna, I am Rajas guna, so it means they get separated from each other. That's the general understanding, common understanding, that they are separated from each other. There are three compartments: Sattva guna, Rajas guna, Tama guna. Three compartments. But I have added this Mishrit. No, there are not three compartments. They are Mishrit in each and every entity. Proportion, where the peaks are. Some has this is a kind of in the modern scientific language what's called the Wave phenomena. And you have a peaks. These are the three peaks. Can be one has a Sattva guna peaked out, other one has a Rajas guna peaked out, third one has tamas guna creeped out. It does not mean those who are on tamasic mode, they don't have these sattvic mode. No, that's why you have to have this understanding that all these are misread. All these are really entangled and combined together. For example, let me give you a concrete example. The modern Western language, if you look at it, they only define good and bad. Evil. Ravana was evil. If you look at the entire, publication in the English language, Ravana was evil is a fundamentally incorrect notion.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are two categories only, good versus evil. Now, this is the mistake. So even Ravana, what he performed, what he did, were the elements of tamasic mode. It does not mean that he did not have the rajas or sattvic mode. Does
Correct.
not. And he was punished because of that peak, what he did. Because of his characteristics that got warranted for his annihilation. So he was not evil. He was really exhibiting a evil through his actions. So the total personality was not evil. So you cannot categorize, even say many times लोग कहते हैं और ये तो बड़े संत थे लेकिन इनसे तमाम saints, they are you will find out many of them have what you call the bad side of it. How do I see them? How do I look at them? I personally look at them, and I suggest everyone to look at them, or look at their, what you call, as a human being, he will have sattvic, rajas, tamas. Under tamas mode, he did what he did. He should not have done that. But does he have any sattvic mode? Our jobs are, our viewpoints should be, I have to learn more ideas which are in the domain of sattvic mode. Or I had to learn more ideas which are in the rajas mode. And I had to not focus on, I don't have to do the hold on to tamas mode. You can look at what happened to the saint. So this is how one has to look at. A saint does not mean cannot have a what you call the degradation of morals. Those who are really very not persons of high morality, it does not mean they do not have some good things over there, some good morality over there.
Correct.
So that's why I have used this misrit to emphasize that they independently do not exist as separate components.
So basically, it is like if I say that 33%, 33%, 33% is a balance. Now, maybe one become a 33 to become a 50 or maybe 60 and other reduced to 12 or 10. You mean to say that going to be as a misrit guna? Actually,
that's a kind of an estimate, 33, 33, 33. But this is not how it works out. Real thing are, they are the field kshetras. Just like, in audio field, you're listening to music and you have a particular rag. You cannot say rag, this sa, re, gamma, this re swar is 33% time, or this is the 12% time. No, they are so combined, intermingled as a field kshetra. So 33, 33, 33, this idea falls down. It is simply three are together. One has a dominant sattvic mode at one time in one circumstances. The same person can have tamasic mode in one time, one person. So it means if you divide 33, 33, it means one will have always 33% tamasic mode. One will have always, no, that does not work. That equation does not work. That is simply one person. If you examine yourself, you yourself go through from morning to evening, you go through all the three aspects: sattvic, rajas, and tamas.
And all three are needed for good human being.
Not only all three are the foundation of Prakriti itself, the foundation of Srishti itself.
So people cannot rule out any of the one. It's always
That is correct.
remain.
That is correct. What they can do, people can minimize the influence of tamas. So the really, what the your question can be further elaborated. I have time constraint, but later on we will talk about this. That
Okay.
the right approach for a human being moving towards the moksha is from tamasic mode to dominant rajas mode to dominant sattvic mode. And then after you have practicing sattvic mode for a long time, the influence of all these modes falls down and you become nirguna.
Then it's gonna-
Gunati.
Okay.
That's called the gunati, nirguna. But that's the process. From
So that means ki one more guna to be added here, like a misrit guna and then the nirguna.
now that's called nirguna, without guna. So I don't want to do that. When I talk about the moksha dharma later, then I will emphasize that. Because again, people, when you say nirguna means what? What is their nirguna? Nirguna means transcending all the gunas and you become nirguna. It means you are in the Atma Gyan. You are situated in the Brahma Gyan. You are situated in the Niskam Bhakti. Then you have really all the gunas have been transcended. The Saranagati, for example, look at the Saranagati dharma. I have not talked about these different dharma yet. Saranagati dharma. Mamekam saranam sarva dharman paratyajya mamekam saranam braj. Sarva dharman belong to sattvic mode. Even leave those out, Arjun. Saranagati aham tvapa sarvapapebhyo mokshikshami masucha. So when you achieve really pure the Saranagati dharma, you are situated in pure Saranagati dharma, then you becomes gunati. The gunas, pap and purn, do not impact you at all, do not affect you. You have transcended the limits of this mode field. You have transcended the limit of Prakriti. You are completely detached from Prakriti. This is called the moksha term. You are completely detached from Prakriti and you becomes Atmagyani, Brahmagyani.
If it's just 1 minute more, if I analyzing all these three gunas and the Vedic working style is a questioning and answering, can we elaborate little bit on it under which influence people are having a more question and answer?
No,
Either in or Rajasic or Tamasic, or maybe a combination.
Examples?
No,
I
I just want to little bit more elaborate it when person or individual having a inclination for more questions and answer. Like in a Vedic work, a Vedic main fundamental of Sanatan or Vedic understanding, question answer is the base part of most of the part.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So what you do, how do you really find out if I'm in sattvic mode or rajas mode or tamas mode? That's the question you had to. That's the question you had to raise. Let me give you one example. Suppose I am asking you that I want to determine at this time as the audience what kind of mode you are in when you join in. If you are joining in this session with this attitude, inner attitude, which you may not have, examined it, but this inner attitude, well, I have nothing else to do, so I will, this is killing my time. If that's the attitude, this is called the tamas mode. You are in tamas mode.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
second attitude, if you are joining in this session, trying to learn what is the world is about, all the questions that you have in your mind, trying to find answers to them. Okay, I will have, this question, I have this question, I'm trying to find answer, satisfactory answer for myself. This is the rajas mode. Okay, if finding the answer, and these answers are the good answers according to the established norms of Vedic wisdom, and then you are coming to the audience, okay, if this question is answered properly to my understanding, based on that answer, can I do atmasat? Can I do embodiment? So I have to practice that. If you are coming from that attitude, holding up that kind of mental makeup, then you are in sattvic mode.
Perfect.
So
Perfect. This exactly I want to analyze. You may be touching the same chord what we are talking about.
Let me give you one more example. There was a temple was being built, and there were शिल्पकार, they were हर एक वृक्ष को जो है शिल्प कर रहे थे, engrave कर रहे थे. A person goes out and started talking to these workers working on constructing a temple. The person asked to one person, he said, "What you doing?" Well, I'm doing, making my bricks, chiseling them out, and he said, "Okay, that's why I see that you are doing. Are you enjoying this?" The person, if the person tells that, "No, really, I have my bread and butter, I don't care for temple. I have to earn my bread and butter." This kind of answer in the tamas mode. You are not doing the karma yoga, you are doing karma, but you are not doing karma yoga. Okay, so this is the one answer in tamas mode. Suppose another person answers like this: "Yes, I am working to have bread and butter, but also I am doing some seva, a service to bring the temple." Seva bhav. So I have seva bhav, as well as this is the bread and butter. This is the rajas mode of thinking. What is the sattvic mode of thinking? Sattvic mode of thinking, the person working there, doing the work, but totally detached from work. No. I am simply here whether I get the remuneration, whether I get the wages for it or not, I don't care. What I am here for, that I am going to contribute the seva of this temple. Purely seva bhav. That's all my motivation is. So pure seva bhav, whenever you have the pure seva bhav to humanity, I'm serving somebody with the pure seva bhav because he's a part and parcel of the same divine as I am. This becomes the sattvic mode. Same functions, same outer activities, but different manasa sthiti. So manasa sthiti with manasa vacha karmana, when the harmony between three will determine whether this person is under tamas mode at the time, or rajas mode at the time, or sattvic mode at the time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a great question.
Sir, may I ask something?
Yeah, please.
Sir, can you
yourself.
elaborate? Yes,
Introduce
my name is
yourself,
Tonu.
please.
My
Hello.
name is Tonumai Panda.
Uh-huh.
My name is Tonumai Panda. I'm from West Bengal.
Okay.
Previously, I just asked you this question about the reservation system. So
Yeah.
now I am asking you about the tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic ahara, the food.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes. Can you elaborate something on this?
Yeah, this is a very good question. The ahars are sattvic, rajas, and tamas. Tamas ahar are those foods are tamas food which are unhealthy for your body. Those are unhealthy for our body, they are the tamas food. Even if you are enjoying those foods, they are unhealthy. For example, unhealthy means not physical body alone, but they may be unhealthy to your mind and intelligence. Because the body has to be purified through manasa, vacha, karmana, and ahar. Achar, vichar, ahar, or bihar. Bihar means entertainment. All these have a direct impact on your purity or impurity of your personality or physical, and mental personality. So this is whatever is harming you on the biological level, on physical level, creating diseases. And even if it is tasty, for example, meat eating, why why those who want to go to the sattvic mode and beyond, they will avoid eating meat of any kind, because this relates not only the personal body health, but also it leads to what he call the killing of the animal world for no good reasons when you have other things to eat. Very simple. There are 20, when further on, when I go to Ahimsa Paramo Dharma, I will stress 20-25 regions you should not eat meat. So now, Rajas mode, what the Rajas mode is? Always remember, every one of us, the taste will vary from one person to another. So the Rajas mode, you have to have tasty food. You have, otherwise you cannot eat. You have to have what you call food that helps for nourishment, because you want to live longer life. So the food that nourishes you, for example, let me give you an idea. You like sweets, for example, rasgulla. Okay, you like rasgulla so much. Now, if you keep eating rasgulla so much, what's going to happen? This is going to damage your body by creating high level of sugar. So this is where, so if you keep balancing this such that you can satisfy your hunger, you can relish the food, and if this whole thing can be for better health, for long living, this is the Rajas mode of thinking, food. In this Rajas mode also you can have, all kinds of varieties of food. Look at the Sattvic mode of food. Sattvic mode of food is that even if how much we can eat, there must be control on eating itself. Eat the Sattvic food, which is freshly prepared, with no ingredient which is harmful to the body, even if it is not very tasty. But for example, Karela, the bitter melon. Bitter melon, majority of people cannot eat bitter melon. But bitter melon is good for controlling the sugar. And it has good for balancing many of the chemicals in the body. So this is where it is. And what the attitude is? Attitude is, I want to slowly and slowly, I want to have more and more sattvic food. And more sattvic food I have, I will then become situated in the field of sattva. So this is how it works out. Rajas mode of food is simply for enjoyment only. Though healthy, but I'm enjoying the food, I will keep eating no matter what it does to human body. No. Sattvic mode is you enjoy, but at the same time, you should be prepared to have a bitter food, but it is going to purify your body, is going to balance out all the biochemicals in your body. That's the sattvic food.
Thank you, sir. Excellent. Sir, I have one book just I received today, one book. It's called Varna Jati Caste, written by Rajiv Malhotra.
Yes,
Is it a good
I know
book?
Rajiv. I know Rajiv ji.
Okay. So this is a good book, sir?
I have not looked at the book.
Okay.
What I would suggest you read the book, but read the series that I have done on Varnasamavastha.
Okay.
Yes, I have done the series, which is available, I think, on my, on the course website as well. If not, I think, you can ask Rajiv Verma ji.
Okay.
He will provide all the links. I have done detailed.
Okay.
And very detailed. The whole series was on the Varna caste and all those things.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Sarma will send the link. Rajiv Verma ji will send the link.
Yes, sure.
Any other questions?
I think if no more questions, please accept my humble pranam. And so nice of you. And so kind of you, you could join in. And now let us see. The next talk is going to be on November 4th. Is that 2 weeks from now?
Yes,
November 4th. And we are going to, in the next talk, we are going to include the Karma Yoga Kshetra, how the Karma Yoga can be successful or not successful. Why and how. That's the one thing. Also, I'm planning to include what you call the Rajdharma, Rasdharma and Rajneet. What are the differentiation are going to be? How do you understand those three aspects? Also, if time permits, I'm going to also talk about, if not completed this next lecture, in the following lecture, what you call paradoxes and conflict and confusion. Whenever there is a conflict, confusion in the family level, at the group level, at the social level, and professional level, and national level, international level, how we look at and how we try to resolve and transcend it. How the dharma in one context can become adharma in another context. Same activity. So I'm going to elaborate that on too. For example, let me give you example. The ahimsa paramo dharma. I don't fully understand what I'm talking about. Ahimsa is paramo dharma. For me, if I'm fighting in a war at the border, whether I should kill my enemy or should I not kill my enemy? Actually, killing of the enemy at that under those contexts becomes the Kshatriya dharma. Same action killing. In one context, it becomes adharma. In another context, it becomes dharma. That's why dharmic field is so complicated, so complex, intermingling all this. So we have to have a clarity of mind. How do I look at it? How do I try to resolve it? And many paradoxes cannot be resolved. So then how do you do that? How do you act in a multidimensional field? Mahajanoin gato sapantha. I will follow the path that Mahajan, means great personality, have taken under the similar situations. So I'm going to talk about this. I will bring some example from Mahabharata, from Ramayana, and how the paradox are created, how they are resolved, how they cannot be resolved. Some of the paradoxes cannot be resolved. You have to simply live with them. So this is what really in the future lectures I'm going to talk about, and also bring in future lectures what you call the origin and source of Natya Shastra, Sangeet Shastra, Kavya Shastra, temple worship, your Kumbh Mela gathering, puja, all kinds of practical activities be performed, Karma Yoga, Niskam Karma Yoga, and what they are. Sanskar, for example, Vivaha Sanskar, Mrityu Sanskar. How do I do? How you look at contemporary? Let me make a statement here in front of all of you. But I think more than 1,000 years, sanskars have not been updated, upgraded. They have lost their meaning and purpose under contemporary situations. We have to upgrade and update them. We have to reformulate them, and we have to bring them under contemporary social conditions. So this is what a preview is as we go along, and you will see a lot of new dimensions that I'm proposing, a lot of new ways of looking at I'm proposing, and comparing, contrasting with the other traditions at the particular point. So please join in, bring some others to join in, and I think we will have a fun together. Thank you so much. Namaskar to all.
Thank you, Professor.